Legends patch 10.2 was announced on Wowcast today, and with that we get a look at the next installment for what's coming in Dragonflight. Guardians of the Dream is a huge content update. New outdoor zone, the Emerald Dream itself. There's a new raid in Amirdrassil, the Dream's Hope. There's new public events that will take place within the Emerald Dream. 3 in total that will feed into each other in a cyclic nature. The Season 3 Mythic Plus map pool was dropped. There's going to be some incoming Blood Elf customizations that we don't know all the details for yet, as well as some class updates for Rogue and Demon Hunter. So this patch is all focused around the seed that Tyrande took from Shadowlands and planted in the Emerald Dream to grow a new tree. And now everything is focused around the super tree. We have to protect it. Bad guys want to get it. I'm actually really excited to be heading to the Emerald Dream finally. This has been something I think players have wanted to explore since vanilla days, and it's always been a hot topic for expansion ideas, and now we're finally heading there in patch 10.2. So the new raid Amirdrassil, the Dream's Hope. This is a 9 boss raid, and I think it is going to be stunning. You're going to have these huge Legion magical vibes flowing through this raid, I think. Think back to the elegance of the Nighthold, mixed with a splash of grandeur that we saw in the Tomb of Sargeras. And then you're going to have this funky, spray and wiped, disinfected version of the Emerald Nightmare. You're going to smush that all together, and this is what you're going to get in Amirdrassil. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be green, lush, ancient, and then it's going to crash into Fire Act, fucked up impact and influence with this molten lava, Fireland style energy just destroying this natured environment. One huge highlight for me was seeing the Druids of Flamemaker return, and hopefully this leads to more flamed options for Druids. Now, there has been a new high def res come out of the old Flamecat version that you could earn in Firelands. I really hope they leave both versions as options and don't replace. But extending this further, can you imagine a Flame Bear or a Were Flame Bear or a Fire Owl? There are so many amazing options that you could do with this. They could double down and you could be the flaming tree itself in tree form. Yeah, I went there. The new raid is going to feature a dragon riding boss, and I say this right now, this encounter is either amazing or straight in the bin. There is no in between for a dragon riding encounter. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes. Now, we've had mount styled encounters in WoW before. We saw it in Eye of Eternity and we saw it in Ulduar, and to be fair, they were received quite well and a fairly decent fight. So it has the potential. We'll have to wait and see. Farak is the final boss in the raid as expected, and with that also comes a new legendary weapon. It's a 2-handed legendary axe that Farak himself wields. It's called Firalath, the Dream Render, so it's got a cool name. It has no class ties to it though at the moment, so we're unsure who will actually claim this weapon for themselves outside of hunters. Technically though, DKs, evokers, hunters, paladins, shamans, and warriors can all equip 2-handed axes. I do think it's interesting though to see a patch concept that is so super heavily focused and driven into druid lore, and then see a 2-handed legendary axe come out as the final orange product. I really did think this would have been something magical in nature, huge woven style into the druid lore, and bring about something for druids. I'm not mad about it, I just find it interesting. We got some new tier sets of course, and I'm going to cover all of the tank tier set bonuses in another video, but just looking at what these tier sets look like, they are amazing. Art team, as always, hauling ass for Blizzard here. Phenomenal looking sets. The raid also has a bunch of special effect raid weapons and trinkets, and I think this is huge. They all drop off Farak himself, but I personally love weapons with special effects on them, so I see this as a huge W. For the moment, there's been an Agi Dagger, an Agi Fist weapon, a Strength 1-handed axe, an Int Mace, and a 2-handed Agi Staff that have all been data mined from Farak. There's also been 12 trinkets with specialized raid effects coming on them as well, so huge loot dropping off the final boss in this raid, which is the way it should be. To the Mythic Plus side of things, the new Season 3 Mythic Plus map pool was dropped. It's got the Mega Dungeon in 2 parts. Waycrest Manor, Darkheart Thicket, Blackrook Hold, the Everbloom, Throne of the Tides, and a Tel Dazar. So a really solid dungeon pool setup here. I would love to see Waycrest Manor though come with all the doors perma unlocked. Choose your own adventure. If you go to the right side, you're an idiot. The right side of that dungeon was generally horrible. In Awakened, you would just skip it and go all the way around to the left side. If your key was high enough and you didn't get top left, you'd just run out and reset and do the level lower so you could push it back up. It's one of those things where top left was generally very make or break in that dungeon. So either make it perma top left open or just make all the doors open and people can choose their own adventures. A Tel Dazar coming back is a huge win. Very happy to see this. I really hope they don't mess with snapping though. Snapping made that dungeon an absolute feature dungeon in regards to having incredibly fun with what you were willing to snap. It was always a good laugh as well when your tank would backpedal off the snap point and fall off. Throne of the Tides though is an interesting choice. I think it's actually probably one of the worst dungeons in World of Warcraft. It's extremely plain. It's just my view. I don't like it. But I wonder also how it's going to transition as a fairly plain dungeon into Mythic Plus. However, I'm going to 100% back Blizzard here in the fact that I love that we are continuing to reach back into the dungeon pools and breathe new life into old content and make it current. This is only a good thing for the game moving forward, so if there's a few stutter steps, I'm okay with it as long as we're heading in the right direction. So big things coming in patch 10.2. What are you most excited for? I want to know. When is the new raid releasing as well? My guess, November 14, could be the 21st. I'm thinking 2 weeks after BlizzCon though is pretty good, and hopefully we find out soon. But that is it. Please let me know when you think the raid's coming out, what you're most excited for in patch 10.2, and if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me out in a very large way. So that's it for me. Thanks all so much for checking out the video. I'll see you all next time. See you, fam. Legends, if you really want to help me out and support the channel, please consider pledging to my Patreon. Protection Warrior tier and above gets your name at the end of each video. I cannot thank everyone enough for the support. Thank you so much.